É a vez de receber em palco José Pérez Diz, Iberia Channel Manager da Tenable, com o tema Beyond Noise, One Company Cyber Risk Posture.
Thanks for your time to be here today. Sorry, because I'm going to speak in English, mas meu português é não muito bom todavia. O ano que vem eu espero falar em português. First of all, I would like to thank to Redshift for giving me the opportunity to be here today, but also because they have built a service based on Tenable to help you to manage your secure posture. Okay? So, who we are Tenable, we are a 1 billion American company. We trade on NASDAQ. Today we're managing more than 44,000 customers worldwide. That means that probably today we are one of the cybersecurity vendor with more customer active. Probably you know very well us because we are the father of Nessus, the vulnerability scanner by default. But Nessus, even though this is extremely important in our strategy, is only a tip of the iceberg within our portfolio, okay? Because today we are moving from talk about only assets plus vulnerabilities to start to talk about business, secure posture, and risk. Some consulting company position at Tenable as the #1 vulnerability management market as well as exposure management market. So at the end, the conclusion is, in both markets, we are the vendor with the biggest market share. Before to talk about Tenable, I would like to be sure that we both are on the same page. And that is the reason why I want to talk about challenge and risk. I'm not going to make focus on risk because you, as a cybersecurity expert, probably you know very well, even better than me, the station of the surface attack due to the digital transformation, the move of assets from IT to the cloud, the interconnection between OT and IT, and when not, the adoption of a mobile solution after the pandemic shut down. I know that you know that very well. But first, I would like to talk with you about our main challenge over the last 25 years. And say 25 years because this is the time that I've been working in this market. Probably sound a little bit boring, but our challenge, our cybersecurity experts, during the last 25 years hasn't changed. It's justify that the cybersecurity is not a cost, it's an investment. And that is the reason why nowadays, more than ever, it's extremely important that our cybersecurity strategy be aligned with our business. When we think about business, digital transformation comes to our mind today. Digital transformation is not an option, sorry, that's mandatory. Doesn't matter if you are a public, private company, a big company, or a small company. I encourage you open your wallet and see how many bills you have today. That is part of the digital transformation. Probably next year we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies, okay? So when we think about digital transformation, the digital transformation is the business trend nowadays. And the challenge of the digital transformation, not from the cybersecurity point of view. Now I'm talking about business. The challenge is the adaptability and flexibility. Your business has to be able to adapt almost in a real time, and please don't forget this, almost in a real time, to what the market is demanding. At the same time, have to be not flexible to adapt what they already have adapted, and that is a cycle and so on. So, if you know where is the business trend, the challenge of the business trend, and you want to align your cybersecurity strategy with the business, you have to keep in mind those rules, adaptability and flexibility. And that is the reason why we consider that a cybersecurity framework, such as CTEM, or very well known as Continuous Threat Exposure Management, fits perfectly. According to Gartner, probably you know this very well, better than me, CTEM is a cybersecurity framework which encourages you to move from a simple vulnerability management to exposure management and continuous, systematic, aligned with the business process. That is the most important of the CTEM. But what is the reality that we find when we sit in front of new customers? Well, the reality is all of customers had adopted a proactive approach. Nobody doubt that the reactive doesn't fit in cybersecurity nowadays. But even though all our customers has adopted a proactive approach to the cybersecurity, and they have cleared that they have to implement a framework such as CTEM, the main problem is that that strategy is in silos within the company. Okay? And silos mean different departments, different maturity, different process, a lot of tools. At the end is a lack of visibility, a lack of business, and technical context. At the end, around the cybersecurity, you will find a lot of noise and the feeling that you have to spend a lot of time to solve something, okay? So the conclusion is that even though you want to implement a CTEM, you will have as many secure postures as silos you have in your company, when the reality is that you should have only one secure posture. So what is our proposal to this situation? Well, our proposal is Tenable One. Tenable One is our cloud platform, okay, at the end is a data lake. It's the combination of all different products from Tenable. All products Tenable work similar, exactly similar. The only difference will be their surface attack. Doesn't matter that you work with Tenable OT if you don't have OT infrastructure in your company. But it makes sense that if you are managing your risk with Tenable IT and you move assets to the cloud, you extend your security posture with Tenable Cloud. So at the end, you can see here that we are able to cover all the surface attack nowadays. And what about artificial intelligence? We are going to discuss about that later. So we were talking about CTEM, and when you see how Tenable works, you will see that we fit perfectly state by state with the CTEM. We include discovery, prioritization, validation, mobilization, everything. So we adapt our technology to the CTEM. I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation about flexibility. When you see how Tenable One license, you will see that we are flexible. We are going to follow how you move your asset within your company. If you are working with Tenable One and you are monitoring assets on OT and IT, and you move assets from IT to cloud, you will continue working with Tenable One. So we adapt to your exposure surface attack. So let me drill down how we work, okay? So the first step is what we have to protect. And that's that we call visibility. The second is what I have to protect that, and that is inside. And the last, but not less important, how I'm going to protect that. So that's why. So the first step working with Tenable is we are going to discover everything, all your assets within your company. And when I say assets, I'm making reference software, hardware, identity, OT, IoT, everything. Because it's impossible that you protect something if you are not aware that that exists, okay? The second step, let me move because this picture is really important. The second step is, okay, what kind of assets I have. Okay, here we are going to work with Tenable sensor, but at the same time, we are going to work with third-party sensor. So that means that you have decided to protect your OT infrastructure with not Summit or Claroti instead of Tenable OT. We are going to be able to inject that information. Or if you have decided to protect your cloud with Prisma or with instead of Tenable Cloud, we are going to be able to inject that information. And why not? If your vulnerability scanner is Rapid7, for example, we can also inject that information. So at this point, we are going to give you a full inventory of all your assets within your company. This is the first step, what I had to protect. That is extremely important. The second step, okay. what is the relationship between all those assets? And this is the breaking point of our solution. Here we're going to create a map of all different assets. To move from to talk about assets plus vulnerability to start to talk about risk. And what is a risk? A risk can be several assets with several vulnerability, with several missing configuration, a set of privileges. Here we talk about risk, okay? The next step, and for me, well, for me not, for Tenable, the most important is scoring that risk. Here, we are not only scoring that risk based on technical information. We are include business information, thanks to our intelligence. And this is more important because thanks to this, you are going to know what is important for your company, where you have to put your focus, okay? The last point is, okay, and now that I have what I have to protect, why I have to protect, and how, here we're going to help you mobilize your team, okay, sharing why they have to do something and why they have to do something, okay? And the next step is help you to communicate to your company what are you doing and what is your exposure management score. So as you can see, we follow the same step of sign up. At the end, we are a secure exposure management platform able to integrate with more than 100 vendors nowadays. We are a cross-solution. We are a cross-platform within your company. What about the artificial intelligence? Do you consider the artificial intelligence should be an asset that you have to audit and monitor? Artificial intelligence, similar to digital transformation, is not an option. It's mandatory. So a couple of weeks ago, when I was preparing my presentation, I made the question to Gemini and OpenAI about, are you consider an asset that needs to be audited and monitored? Both artificial intelligence say that, yes, I am an asset. Why? Because I give value to the company. At the same time, you have monitored me. Why? Because I manage critical information. And the answer that I liked the most was the ChatGPT, where you can see he say, continuously monitoring. So now in Q4, we are going to launch Tenable AI, because we are going to consider the artificial intelligence an asset. We are going to include the artificial intelligence within your surface attack. And you are going to be able to monitor how your employees are working with the artificial intelligence, okay? This first release will be available for OpenAI and a Copilot, okay? Oh. For conclusion, we are a security platform. We are going to help you to unify your visibility, to improve your insight. At the end, we are to help you to adopt only one secure posture. Thank you.